each other.
Big time.
Yeah.
Especially you staying stagnant.
Mm-hmm.
I got you.
Yeah.
Anything you want to ask since we...
No, I mean that just opened it up because that's a big thing.
Yeah.
But people get into an argument, but me and him was talking what I was saying because I stay by myself and I realize I pay everything by myself anyway. So
Right.
it's like when somebody does come, it's like I'm probably not even like, hey, I need you. It's gonna be like, I'm good.
Yeah.
You know what I'm saying? So if you're a real man, you already
know what it is.
handling it 100%. But a lot of people argue, don't fight it, just get it.
Yeah.
And I always say this: you can kind of tell based off the person's living situation before y'all got together. If they had roommates, well, they're gonna be accustomed to you splitting rent. If they stay with their parent, if she stay with her parents, she wants you to pay everything. If he lived on his own, it's probably not gonna be a problem for him taking care of everything.
And I think that a lot of the times men are okay focusing on what's gender specific. Like they'll say, well, the woman is supposed to do X, Y, Z.
Right.
But on the flip side, if the woman says the man is supposed to do X, Y, Z, we're considered quote unquote as a gold digger. Or we feel like we're entitled to it.
Okay.
But at
I'm
the end
with
of the day, if we go back to the real biblical living or the
Whatever,
you
yeah,
know,
yeah.
the old school living,
Yeah.
the man went out in the field.
Yeah.
Yes.
He got the food for
Right.
the family to eat and brought it back home for the wife to prepare.
I got you.
Yeah.
So if we want to go back to, the foundation of things, let's be real. If you ain't paying the bills, you ain't the man.
It is what it
And
is.
better yet, as I've learned, if you don't have an offering, don't approach a goddess.
Right.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Yeah, don't.
you.
Yeah, you some offering, and they ain't necessarily all money. If
But
you
it's
don't
not.
have an
It's not.
offering.
But
it's-
this
yeah.
is what messes the game up because I know a lot of boss chicks who actually go for the bums because of control.
Oh, wow.
It's
That's-
plenty of them. You will see. When I do Uber, I will see situations where she'll pick a dude up from his mama's house.
No.
And then he will be then I'll take her to this nice residential community and you like, wait, that's your dude. So you're taking care of him. I think that's why girls love baby boy so damn
No,
much.
no. What I'm not going to do is I have 3 children, 2 sons. I
Gotcha.
don't need another one.
Ah,
okay?
there you go.
But what I will
Correct.
say is if I was to connect with someone and I saw the $1 million potential in them, every day I'm going to wake up trying to cultivate that out of them. But while I'm doing that, they have to also be doing their part. And if I see to a point where they're not doing their part, it's at that point that we have to part ways.
Potential is one thing, work ethic is everything.
Right, that's what I mean. If the potential is there and they put in the work ethic, then you can work
Yeah.
with that. And that's why I said I'll wake up every day speaking life over you and cultivating you. But now you have to get up and do the work and put in the work. And if you're not doing that,
Then it ain't gonna
not
fly.
gonna
Yeah,
It's church up in here. Like I'm full over here. I'm
Because,
sitting back there.
I'm just big on that because I feel like at some point it's kind of switched. I don't know what's happened, but now it's
Well, you know what it is. You see what Taisha just said is a lot of men can't take that. Women are very abundant,
big time.
and what she's saying is, I see where you can go. I'm gonna speak life, so you have to man I fest. That's what she's saying. Like,
Thank you.
she's not gonna go out here and get it,
Right.
but she's being then all this. It just turned, but it has to be a mind opening experience.
Absolutely.
To be able to take that and realize she's not just talking; she's speaking magic and
Right.
spells.
Exactly.
And for her,
I've seen it.
And for a
I've
woman
seen
to
it.
actually believe in you at that point,
Right.
you gotta accept that. You gotta say, all right, look, let
and
me
see,
get
a
on.
lot of the times is, and I love, people always say that the word mindset is so simple, but it's so powerful.
Big time.
Yes.
And you really have to look at the type of mindset that you're dealing with, and also the age bracket or the point of where they are as far as life. And some people are stuck in just that mundane mediocrity mindset that it becomes a lifetime of you trying to shift it. And at some point, you'll look up and realize that you lost yourself in the midst of that shift.
Yes.
Big time.
So
Yes.
you got to be
Big time.
very careful with that.
You really
I agree
do,
with that.
and you have to really. That's one of those things where you have to sit back with self. Because I've done that, and it happens on all types of levels. People think it's just with party and stuff like that. No, you can go to work and just go to work, come home and get into this mundane, thinking to where you just so rigid. That's what it is.
I
You're
ain't
not
gonna do this.
expanding.
Right.
Nothing else is happening. As you said earlier, stagnation.
Stagnation, exactly.
Yeah, yes,
Exactly.
ma'am.
It's because I'm big on. All right, I realize most women don't want to pay the damn bills. It's fine. I'm cool with that. So just pay the bills. If you can pay the bills, pay 'em.
Right.
It's not a big deal. Just
Right.
pay the bills. Look what you can afford. Okay. Judge it. Also, you might not be able to pay everything. Okay. Pay the mortgage, the bills, and
The thing
You handle
about it
groceries.
is when it comes to that, this is what I say when it comes to house. I think that in a society that we live in right now, in order to live a comfortable lifestyle, you have to have two
Incomes.
household incomes.
Yeah.
Yes.
I don't even care if both of them are making six figures.
Yeah.
It's still required, you know.
Yeah.
And for me, if you are the man, take care of the bare necessities.
Mm-hmm.
If we both got car notes, take care of the car note. If the mortgage has to be paid, the rent has to be paid, take care of that. We have to put groceries in the house, take care of that. All the minor things, going shopping, picking up clothes for the kids, you know, the grooming. I don't need you to take care of my grooming because if you hear the day of tomorrow, this grooming still got to be on
It still
point.
has to be
Right.
done.
That is not a part of
Right,
your
that's
requirements.
yeah, I got you.
You know, you ain't got to buy my clothes and shoes and handbags, none of that, because it's gonna have to get bought when you leave today
No.
and tomorrow. But the bare necessities where you know that you are benefiting from, nobody shouldn't even have to tell you to take
Cut the
care of it.
goddamn grass.
Yeah, that's
Right.
it.
Take care of the yard.
But you know, this is the trick, and I'll say this because I figured it out, and everybody not gonna get it. This is the trick, because that's what I've been looking to about women and how abundant they are. You know, a lot of people say, "Well, I'm gonna have to pay everything." Well, I let you know. The trick is that if you doing right, the opportunity and the resources, they gonna come.
They gonna
You
flow.
just have to be willing. That's why so many women actually leave somebody like, you have all these opportunities, you haven't been taking them. It's like, you could have been paying everything and having more, but and that's the trick. Like, women are very abundant.
You can't.
And not only that, we're very proactive.
Big
Yes.
time.
Yeah, we're very proactive. You know,
Very.
men can talk about these ideas
All day.
for years, but ideas in your head means absolutely nothing. You have to execute.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Like they say, you got a plan. What's the mission, though?
Yeah, no, you have to literally write the vision,
Yes.
make it plain, and you have to look at that vision every single day and do a reality check and realize how far off course
Right.
that you are from meeting that vision. And if you are off course, how much harder do you have to grind and work to
get
catch
where you
up
need
and
to
get
be.
there?
Like you
know?
can watch workout videos all day, but at some point you're gonna have to actually work out yourself.
Exactly.
So
Exactly.
Yeah,
Like
legit.
and like I tell people all the time, don't ever change the plan, change the deadline.
there you go.
Yes.
Because people come and they're like, oh, well, I gave myself 90 days. Well, I ain't doing it in 90 days. I'm going to do something else. No, finish the freaking plan. Just change
That's
the
it.
deadline.
Right. That's it.
That's it.
Yeah. And that's another thing, timing. I tell people, I always say it's now instead of saying timing, because you that's stress.
Yeah.
Right.
You know, I mean, now don't get me wrong. I mean, in this third dimensional construct, we do have to say I have to be here for a certain time. But you notice that really kind of press you though, especially if something happened, you know, and you might have to do something at the house as your mom, and you're like, nah, I gotta rush. Now I gotta get out here, drive. I gotta, you know, and that's so it's like
But
it's
you know,
gonna happen
it's not
now.
Even, it's not even timing. It's planning. Proper planning will give you better
Big
results
time.
every single
Yes,
time.
yes.
I don't care what you have going on in your life.
Yes, yes.
And that's the thing. People just feel like they could just wake up and wing it. You can't.
No.
Me as a mom, I can't wake up and wing it. I got to plan out grocery shopping. I got to plan out washing the clothes. I got to
Yeah.
plan out all of that stuff.
Everything has
You
to
know?
be planned.
Like his dad always say, you gotta have goals.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Gotta have goals.
Yeah.
You gotta have some sense of direction. And if a person does it, you can always tell it's like they just wake up and just, oh, okay. Nothing, it's no real
Yeah.
aspiration to do anything. Oh, because I remember I had a part-time job at Publix, and I could see the disparity between my mindset and theirs.
Mm-hmm.
They was cool with $140 a week. And I was like, man, what is this?
Man, that's lunch on one day.
It's levels to this though. You know what I'm saying? And like I see, I remember when I got on, and you definitely can relate to this. It was, and she would just get money. That's why I say I love women and I exalt them to where they need to be. So this is 2011, way before I got out here. So I'm from Louisiana. It's a whole different type of money out there. We know it's just different. So. I was looking on. I just got on Twitter. I didn't know it was that savage. So she said, "Y'all be complaining about this and that." She said, "Expensive is a broke person's problem." And I looked at it. I had my phone. I gripped it. I'm like, I don't know why would she say this, but I sat back. I said, "She right. That is." You know what I'm saying? And that's why a lot of people get the, I wish it was me. Everybody ain't able. You know what I'm saying? That's your problem. You know what I'm saying? Because your mind keeps you from having what you need to
One
have.
of the very popular scriptures in the Bible says the earth is the Lord and the fullness thereof. That
Right.
means that there is so much opportunity out
Big
here
time.
for us
It
to
is.
attach ourselves to
Yeah.
to create the wealth.
Yeah.
And see, a lot of the times people, like I was talking to one of my good friends from upstate, and he was saying that, you know, I have a lot of my friends, they wake up in the morning and they're already rich. They're making money, but they're not working. And he's like, I'm so upset because we're behind the wheel. I said, see, what happens is we spend a lot of our time comparing ourselves to people that we don't even know what their story is.
Correct.
Or we also know their story, but their story doesn't match our story. You can't beat yourself up over somebody that came into generational wealth
Okay.
versus where you are, that
Starting
you're
from
trying to
scratch.
start and begin a generational wealth for your family. No, you have to run your own race. And it doesn't mean that you can't make the same type of money they're making by starting here today and they're already ahead of you. You know, Eric Thomas, I listen to him every morning.
Yeah.
His story is phenomenal.
Gotta live.
And you talking about the growth process that he went from just giving out free content
Right.
to now somebody has to pay $500,000 just to get him to come and speak in a 30-minute segment.
That's crazy.
For 30 minutes.
Damn.
We're talking about an African American high school dropout.
Yeah.
Correct.
So it's like our mindset as our culture, we have to shift it from thinking that we're stuck. Because we're stuck only because we want to be stuck.
You could be the victim or you could be the victim.
Victor. The Victor.
It's like one of my great sisters, she said, you know, what it is with the black culture is we carry a lack of energy. And I tell you, I'm incoming a lot. They don't have lack of energy.
Right.
They don't look, they do not have, it's like, I'm supposed to have this. And I'm going to have it in a way that suggests that it is not me. I have this because this is just something that I like.
Yeah.
It's not identifying me.
Exactly.
You know?
And another thing
Lack of
too,
energy.
we have most of the time we actually make money. Is how we actually
Manage it.
Yeah. Because if you look at people last year, they were getting about $25,000, $30,000 just for unemployment and still had their regular job. So if you were living off a certain amount of money and you said, let me I'm not saying put everything aside, that's unrealistic.
No.
But you could put a portion aside to where you could get ahead on rent,
Right.
2-3 months. Now you can have some money in your savings.
Exactly. And not only that, you can look in small investment businesses to grow. But people won't do that. They go and buy all and there's nothing wrong with the high-end fashion.
I like
we
that
all
shit.
have it. We've all had it. We've all still buy it. I do. But at the end of the day, we have to have
Birkin
our
bag. She had a
No.
Birkin bag in here. I said, God damn.
we have to have our priorities in order, and we have
Correct.
to do what's going to make sense in the long run. You know, people just live for that moment and not thinking about the future. So
Right.
It's nothing worse than a business opportunity coming and you don't have the money, but you know you had it. At
you
one
had it
point.
exactly. And you know, what I always talk about is that 6 months reserve. You got that 6 months reserve for your bills, and somebody come to you and say, "This is a business opportunity that's going to make you X, Y, Z in 6 months." Here you go. And every business opportunity is going to take. You're going to have to take a risk.
Yeah, big time.
So
Correct.
take that. If that 6 months reserve, which is probably about 30,000-40,000, is in the bank, and you telling me in 6 months it's going to return into 300,000,
Yeah.
take it 10 times over.
And I noticed something that a lot of people, I kind of, because we been wearing intro where we talked to a lot of older white men. And they told me, he said for the longest, for about 8 years, he just saved his tax return.
Right.
He didn't touch it. He just put it aside. He just put it aside. So when he got to that amount, he was like, well, you start thinking different when you have an X amount of money. So
Right.
now it's like, well, I could.
And then another thing that I learned from one of my good friends, which is a Caucasian person, he says, get an offshore account that you have no direct access to, and you have to go through 1,000,001 channels
Yeah.
to even pull the money out of
There
it.
you go.
And dump all of your money into that
Right.
savings account. And you'll be surprised how much money you can actually save.
Big time. I save money
Because
every
if we
day.
got access to our savings account right now, we put $1,000 in it a day. You be like, damn, I need $1,000. Oh, it's in my savings.
Right,
You
it's
just
right
looked
there.
at 2 days ago.
Yeah, 'cause
It's
you
called
know-
savings.
Yeah.
It's right, because you
But
know it's
if
there,
you
but
had that $1,000 offshore, you got to go submit this, submit
go
that.
over here,
They
you
gotta
gotta wait
respond
for
to
it.
you.
Yeah.
By the time that $1,000 come, you don't even want what you was trying to
Nah,
spend that
I'm
money
good.
on.
It's too late.
Like that Roth IRA, like that. Don't play that, you man. They tell you what they gonna take if you take it early. You like, man, I don't want nothing to do with that. You ain't got no money. You're not owing them money. You like,
Yeah.
God damn.
It's true. It's true. I mean, we as a culture, if we really got together, we are naturally some very, very brilliant and smart people.
We are.
But if we all just got together and fuse our ideas and our resources together, we'll be like any other community. But we just we can't start at the foundation the right way.
Because I always talk about this. They say, "Oh, well, they work together." I said, "That's what you're supposed to do. You're supposed to look after your people.
Collaboration over competition works for me every day.
You don't have to. Why do we have to do it all by ourselves? If you got an idea and you need 20,000, and we all got 20,000, Bam.
Exactly.
Ego
Exactly.
deaths need to happen. Once ego deaths happen and people realize that a union within harmony is going to work,
It's definitely
we
gonna
get to
work.
where we need to be.
Yeah. So you got anything planned for your birthday? I know it's coming around. So
Pisces season.
This my Stevie J hair. Yes, we got some real dirty 40 madness gonna be taking
Right.
place. The birthday is officially on March 16th.
Okay.